Good afternoon, or should I say evening, morning. Morning? At any rate, I'm the Game Master. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Before we begin, there is something I must tell you. You see, my job is to draw you into this world with my voice and cards, which is why I believe it best for you to play with the sound on. In fact, I insist on it. However, as you can see, my voice is subtitled, so you can always read along as well. Now then, are you ready? Let's begin. Welcome to Voice of Cards. You are about to take the first steps of your adventure through a realm of sword and sorcery. You will travel. I have every faith you will accomplish great things here. I am merely a witness. Now then, your departure draws nigh. May your journey... We begin in a cave. The surrounding rocks are slimy with damp. It feels as if some foul creature could leap out from the shadows at any moment. Yet in this horrible place gathers a fellowship of three. One is a young woman. You can tell just by looking at her. Another is a stoic warrior. He stands at the ready, scanning. Last but not least is the old man. These adventurers seek a certain treasure hidden in this cave. An iron door towers before you. It has rather conspicuous handles. The stoic man takes hold of the handles and pushes as hard as he can. The stoic man winds his leg back and lets fly a powerful... As his foot connects, the door trundles to the side. So it was one of those sliding contraptions. Something leaps out at the fellowship from the darkness. Don't hold back. these adventurers have seen their fair share of battle and defeat their attackers with ease. As the trio approaches the treasure chest, before the wary trio appear creatures the likes of which they've never seen. The young woman edges around the monster's bulk. There is treasure inside, no doubt about it, but it's locked tight. The woman slides the simple key into the lock. The chest clicks open. Inside is what appears for all the world to be an "At last we've retrieved the royal treasure," the old man says. The woman and warrior, their quest complete, the triumphant trio put the cave behind them. This is Castle Advent. Queen Nilla reigns over the kingdom from within its walls. In the crowded audience chamber jostle all manner of white-robed adventurers stand close. A palace guard calls over the tumult. "Be silent. Her Royal Majesty graces us with her presence. The cacophony ceases. Seated upon the throne, the Queen. Thank you all for heeding my. Whatever it takes to defeat whomsoever conquers this beast will be. At that, the gathered crowd cheers loud enough. Leave the dragon to us. Indeed, you did well. I thank you. For my stomach, it puts my mind at ease to know the trio are disciples of. Indeed, anyone would think that, but they'd be wrong. So we just gotta slay the dragon and we'll be drowning in gold. The man beside him, a strange creature, let's pay attention, because this. There he is, or there you are, I should say, a humble bounty hunter. A seemingly tedious fellow who doesn't hesitate to. When you heard about the quest to slay the dragon, it was the promise of reward. You wonder why you need to sign anything, but head for the guard anyway. Shall we? We of the Ivory Order will be the ones to restore peace. My colleague made me come along, but he didn't mention we were going on a quest to slay the dragon, she says, trembling. The man takes one look at your companion and shrieks, "Monster!" That reward for slaying the dragon is as good as mine, barks the man. You think the dragon's really as tough as they say? Asks the man, his knees knocking. If the heroes of the Ivory Order are hunting the dragon, he's as good as dead, says the man, relief spreading across. You'll need tough gear if you're going to beat the dragon, the man tells you. Keep your ears perked. You never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The Ivory Order trio stands before you. They seem not the most approachable of parties, but you inquire about their identities. We are disciples of the Ivory. They begin blathering an answer to a. Sensing a long lecture ahead, you seize on the first chance to extricate. Sign here, says the guard, handing you a pen and paper. You sign your name. A fine name. After you've signed, the guard motions to the strange creature. You sign your companion's name as well. Mar. Mar, your friend. Though he can't speak the human tongue, he seems to understand it well. Thank you. Can't ask that. You want the reward as badly as you don't want to die. You figure you better make some strong friends. And then the two disappear out of the audience chamber. I am one of the guards charged with the castle's protection. I take not a... No way am I adventuring with anyone who keeps that sort of creepy company, he says. Before you even open your mouth to ask him to team up, he cuts you off. You ask him to team up. You weren't planning on sharing either, so you don't try to change his mind. I'll let the Order handle this. Me, I'm heading home. Never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The man wanders off. You'll need tough gear, the man says, wandering off. Offer to join forces with the Ivory Order trio? With no particular business, you take your leave. You've yet to find any help for your quest. Things don't look that reassuring as they are, but the decision is up to you. I am one of the guards charged with the castle's protection. I'll leave the dragon slaying to you adventurers. Don't get yourself killed out there, says the guard curtly. Asking Queen Nilla to join you is beyond preposterous. Better not even try. In the end, you set out, just the two of you, to hunt the dragon. A weapons merchant accosts you in the street. He conspicuously checks his surroundings. To hear him tell it, this is a legendary. You can smell the scam a mile away. And yet the aura of this weapon does have something of the legendary about it. You ask who in their right mind would pay so much for... Well, you know where to find me, if you change your mind, he says, tucking the weapon away. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. The old man kindly warns you of the dangerous monsters outside of town. The child says you should see Nexton as soon as you leave the castle town. The door is shut tight. You spy a keyhole on it, suggesting the existence of a corresponding key. You peek inside the carriage shop only to hear the owner call out that they're closed. Guess you won't be making use of them after. Before you stands a sign. Earlier you saw the bit about the handsome reward for whoever slays. A woman stares at the sign. Her face curls into a monster, the woman cries and flings magic at Mar. Startled by the spell, Mar grows dizzy. You whirl to the woman and shout, "What are you doing?" This ain't a monster, you growl, as the woman snarls open. The two of you bicker for quite a while. Inwardly, you call her unsavory, but she knows she's no match for when you tell her you're after the same thing. She squints down her nose at you. Fine, she says. She's a little annoying, but you are looking for quest companion. I only want to see the dragon dead. You overhear her remarks and grin. That suits you perfectly. You happily join. She introduces herself. She tells you she is a witch, but says nothing of why she hates monsters or what grudge she bears against the dragon. Welcome to Nexton, hails a man. You try asking the man if he knows anything. The man's eyes widen. Welcome to Nexton, he whispers in your ear. The woman tells you she's so terrified of what might happen if the dragon attacks the town. She hasn't been able to eat. How may I help you? The proprietor inquires. Will that be all? The proprietor asks. The man helpfully advises you take the opportunity to purchase equipment and curatives while you are in town. A woman sits hunched over by the side of the road. Upon catching sight of you, she's sprained her ankle and needs you to take her to the nearby apothecary. You try to lift the woman into your arms, but the weight's too much for you to bear. You lay the woman back down where you found her and mutter upon seeing that, Melanie snaps. What kind of person are you? Ain't like it's my fault she's hurt, you whine like a child. Ignoring you, Melanie gingerly helps the woman up. Mar bends so the woman can get on his back, and you watch them walk away for a moment before following, complaining to yourself about what a wasted time this is. You arrive at the apothecary. After taking a curative, the woman She thanks you and pulls something from her breast pocket. You've helped someone. It might be a good idea to do that again, should you come across anyone else in need of assistance. The girl says if you follow this road northwest for a bit, you'll come to Thryston. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, proclaims the woman, swigging. It seems the majority of... That's probably part of the reason the Order has so many ardent supporters. As your eyes roam everywhere but the path you walk, you barrel right into someone. When you turn to see who it is, you see I'm fine. Berwyn, the old man calls. He jerks forward, as if the trio advances on you. How dare you treat disciples of the Ivory Order with such disrespect? You fall to your hands and knees, pressing your forehead to the dirt in supplication. I offer my life as restitution. Wynifred stares at you. Bewildered you would go to such ridiculous lengths. Muttering a half-hearted apology, you try. But that's when you notice something in your hand. Looks like you accidentally grabbed Winifred's coin. Thief! Bellows Berwyn, drawing his weapon. Guess you've got to fight your way fast. Don't worry, the coffin card is down, but they're still alive. The Ivory Order laid you out. The Ivory Order trio looks at you like they can't believe taking pity on your ineptitude. The Ivory Order trio, we mustn't tarry any longer. To the monster researcher of Thryston with us. Hedwyn urges his companions and the trio depart. Apparently a monster researcher lives in Thryston and might know something about the dragon. On your way to defeat the dragon, the innkeeper gives you a room free of charge in a show of support for any and all who wish to defeat the dragon. The party leaves the inn feeling rested. Aimless wandering can be fun, but if you want purpose and direction, I'd suggest sticking to the path. Excellent. That was lucky. Good work. You journey onward, only to see a suspicion. He proclaims himself a man of medicine. There's no harm in trying it, he boldly claims. Well, you take the stranger at his word and drink one. Everything in view is suffused with a soft light, and it is magnificent. The reverie slowly fades. How long will you smith? Be that as it may, he seems pleased to have seen any effect at all. He hands you a gift for the trouble and walks off in high spirits. Lying in the grass, you find an old telescope. You figure a look at the path ahead can't hurt. Peering through the lens, you see, all you know is there's something up ahead. You should be able to tell for certain what it is if you get closer. You leave the janky telescope where you found it and make your way cautiously toward what you saw. Looks like some monsters prowling about. You channel the inner champion of justice you never knew you had, and decide to throw down with the monsters. You sheathe your sword with a braggartly flourish, but no one's looking at you except for Melanie. The exasperated sigh she heaves rings loud as a shout in your ears. Don't hold back. You can't walk on water. Mar leaps out and takes. Mar's eyes seem a bit. I've created a skin serum. The Doctor of Sorts happily chirps, handing you something as compensation for your troubles. about the enemy. You come across two men sitting on a rock. They take no notice of you or the party, but you listen in and deduce that they are a pair of thieves. You lean in, trying to hear what else the thieves are talking about. I hid the goods. Head south just before the bridge. No, it sounds like they've just told you. Hastily grab a scrap of paper, write down what you've heard, and quietly sneak away. And fight. And fight. It's pitch black inside the cave. Who knows what dangers lurk within? Maybe you should prepare first. Light can't reach the furthest depths of the cave. It may be impossible to proceed without a torch. You don't have a torch, but you can always buy one at the item shop at Thriston. Taking no heed of any danger, you press on. The cave is dark and dangerous. Are you sure you want to keep going without a torch? You make your exit. Upon your courage, you toss the janky telescope aside and charge ahead with your... Looks like the sight of you startles it away. The wind picks up speed. A tornado is forming. You anticipate the tornado's path correctly and avoid getting swept up. Kick a rock down the road, muttering about "cut it out," chides Mel. You grumble, but the rock you kicked must have hit it because it is really mad. Brace yourself for battle. Congrats. Congrats. Welcome. You will be instantly transported to any location you've previously visited. Travel for 100 gold. Well, if it isn't the head of the national, you've clearly been mistaken for someone else. But the innkeeper looks so excited that you dare not burst her bubble. Your room is free. It seems the sound of a flute could want. His neighbors complained about the noise, though, and all has been quiet since. The man says you'll need a torch, and he adds, it just so happens you can buy them at the item shop. You get the feeling he probably worked. An idea strikes you. Maybe getting rid of the toxins within the body would get rid of the odor without, too. You fish around in your bag, but can't seem to find an antidote anywhere. Apparently monsters have... The Ivory Order is searching for where they're stashing the stolen goods. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. The woman, who fashions herself a missionary of love, haughtily cries she's too beautiful and popular for her own good. You hand him an antidote and he chugs it down. As soon as he's finished, the odor... Overjoyed, the man from his breast pocket, the man pulls out something to give you in thanks. The woman tells you a monster stole something. What did it steal, you ask? Medicine, says the woman, to give my skin a lustrous cyprian ombre. All the townsfolk affect. If anyone knows anything about the dragon, it's him. He's a veritable monster. You ask Cypri if he knows anything about... He says he'll tell you if the monsters stole a precious... If you reclaim the treasure, Cypri promises to tell you all he knows about the dragon. It seems the treasure-thieving monster makes its hideout in the western cave. That's where you'll want to head. Light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated. Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance. Final missive from an adventurer done in by monsters, perhaps. And fight. Congrats. You did great. The door is shut tight. Upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity that looks like you put the magic sphere into the cavity and the door opens. Let's do this. claret trail leads you deep. A knot forms in your gut. Another message comes into view. What horrors transpired here? About the enemy. Excellent. Excellent. And fight.